Come be the man I need. Song is catchy. All right, we don't have time to waste. People have to peanut butter their crackers, okay? We've got to get going. We got to get a move on. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't get that inside joke, that's because you're not on the Discord. Join the Discord. I keep telling you people, it's completely for free. You're missing all the great Robin lines if you're not on our Discord. Link in the description below. On this episode, more Epstein files. About 47,000 of them, some involving the current president of the United States, were withheld by the DOJ. Not only did they finally admit to that, but they say, we're going to get them now. Should be fine. It's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's no big. It's so we gotta wait a little bit longer. What's the big deal? It's not like they're doing anything wrong with them. You know, trust your government. It's fine. It's fine. The Iran war continues. That is another day. We've got the vote in Congress. We've got lasers. All I want is sharks with frickin' laser beams on them. Apparently we have that now, so we'll look forward to that. And the Jersey Shore leaving MTV. Oh my gosh. Global conflict, conspiracy theories and cover-ups, and the Jersey Shore. Have you seen a more well-rounded podcast? I submit that you have not. Okay, Epstein files. Let's start there. 47,000 files missing. Stop complaining. We gave you a bunch of them. You don't need all of them. You don't need the ones that involve the current president of the United States. Stop acting like the whole world owes you everything. Key Epstein-related documents briefly disappeared from a Justice Department website. Missing files, of course, sparking outrage and accusations of government secrecy. Lawmakers are demanding transparency and access to those documents tied to Epstein's network. Of course, plenty of questions remain about which individuals could be named in some of this previously unreleased materials. Some officials are pushing subpoenas and oversight hearings to determine why the files were removed. You'll be happy to note that Pam Bondi was issued a subpoena today, which is just fantastical. This is what we need to be doing. We've got to get accountability back into this system. We've got to have this process be fair and open to everybody. You can't just withhold information from the public because it regards the current president of the United States. Doesn't work like that. We don't like that kind of stuff as Americans. We're okay with being lied to. We're not that crazy about bullshit. I keep saying that. Not that crazy about bullshit. 5 Republicans voted across party lines with the Democrats to subpoena Pam Bondi over these Epstein files, and rightfully so. It's utterly Pam Bondi regarding the Justice Department saying these Epstein files release. Republican Representative Nancy Mace introduced a motion to subpoena Bondi, stating that the Americans joined by Republican colleagues Lauren Boebert, Michael Cloud, Scott Perry, and Tim Burchett. The American people who want answers on the Epstein files, there are American people that want answers on the Epstein files, and so do we, said Mace on X. Of course, you know, Congress passed that legislation where it was law, and the only reason why the president signed it was because he couldn't veto it because of the majority that they got. So this is how we landed where we are today. Again, I know there's plenty of Trump MAGA defenders out there. I know you guys are in a war against all the people with the TDS, but I again ask you, how could you feel good about the way that man has handled this controversy? From calling it a hoax and trying to block it, to opening up new investigations to potentially block it, to now learning that the DOJ held back 47,000 files or 48,000 files, depending on who you ask. The These files are expected to be restored online by the end of the week after personally identifiable information and images of a sexual nature were addressed. Among the withheld documents are materials detailing unverified allegations against President Donald Trump, which the Justice Department has labeled as unfounded and false. The department was legally mandated to release these millions of files. Of course, that came late, and that's why Pam Bondi was subpoenaed today. Donald Trump has consistently denied any wrongdoing and has characterized efforts to release the full files as a hoax. Trump has not been accused of criminal wrongdoing, and one's appearance in the Epstein files obviously does not suggest otherwise. But here's the thing I keep coming back to. If they're unfounded, great, fine. Why? Just tell us why. I have no problem buying into the innocence of President Donald Trump. I'm here for it. I'm ready to accept it. But tell me why. Show me why. I understand that the Department of Justice has labeled some of the documents in the Epstein files against President Trump unfounded and false. You'll get no argument out of me as long as you present the evidence as to why, because I am not going to be like anybody on the right or the left and just go for something because that's what my party wants me to do. I want to see real facts. I have said this since day one. I don't believe the guy did anything. I think the worst thing the president has done regarding Epstein has been in the last year. That's where his crimes are regarding Epstein, in my opinion. I don't think he did any of those other things. I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past. I did agree to have kids with my wife. Big mistake. Very wrong. Very wrong. I hope you people appreciate these jokes because, my kids are going to watch this one day. They're going to be like, man, he really didn't want it. Really, wasn't a bit at the end of the day, was it? No, it wasn't. Sorry, kids. No, it's a bit. I love you guys. And your mom is not just threatening me to say that. She's not just off camera giving me a really scalding look right now. You just got to tell me what's going on. If they're unfounded, fine, explain why. Because taking your word for it, not something I don't think we're all comfortable with, because the last time we took the word of the administration, Kash Patel told us there was nothing else here to investigate. How many people have quit their jobs since these files have been released? How many people have been investigated since these files have been released? How many people have been arrested? Prince Andrew was arrested off of these files being released. But if we were going by Pam Bondi, President Trump, and Kash Patel, we would all be missing all of this. There'd be nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. So again, I know there's people who hate the president of the United States. I know there are people that are like, well, he was friends with him, so he's got to go down. I'm on board. I'm with you guys. But there's got to be some, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying if there's stuff in there and you investigated it, show me what you found to call off the investigation. Show me what in those documents makes you say these are unfounded and false. That's what I'd like to see. That is what I'd like to see. Because up until that moment, I can't sit next to you and declare that innocence. I just can't. And again, the worst thing this man has done has been the things that he has done in the last 2 months regarding this whole Epstein thing. It's unbelievable to me that we keep going down these paths. So we're going to get this information at the end of the week. Let's see what happens. I mean, everybody's going to crawl all over this. Thankfully, the Oversight Committee, like I said, voted to subpoena Pam Bondi, so at least we'll try and get some answers. I hope this dipshit second time around won't sit here and quote what the NASDAQ is doing as we're trying to get justice for victims. Fucking idiot. I mean, she's an idiot. She doesn't deserve to be there. It's not, honestly, This administration has been a wild ride. I was looking at some of the Kristi Noem thing today. I don't, some of these people really, I'm a little worried that they're in these positions. Honestly, it's hard. It's really hard to look at some of these people and go, I feel comfortable with this. I feel good about this. I mean, it's hard for us to do that with anybody in government, but you know, some of these things are pretty rough. Watching Kristi Noem explain why her plane has a bedroom in it, trying to explain to us that that's what they use to deport illegals. That's a wild ride. That was I don't know if you guys saw that clip. That was a wild ride earlier today when I saw that one. That was just a little nutty. That was a little nutty. Let me see. Did I get everything in the Epstein files? I think I did. I think that was all the updates for today. But by the way, I could play 10 more videos from the Clinton thing. That's just that guy. The Clinton stuff is still that deposition. I went through it a little bit more, found a couple more clips. I don't know if I could sit here and get aggravated all over again. Let me see here. I don't think that any of these are really worth. I mean, it's the same old kind of aggravation, really. It's the same old shit with him. Let me see. I saved this video. I can't remember what for. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. No, quickly. This one. We got to do this one. We got to do this one. Jeffrey Epstein visited Bill Clinton in the White House 7 times. There was one staffer who signed Jeffrey Epstein in to the White House all 7 times. Was the same one staff person that signed him in. We've talked about this before, but it's incredible to watch Clinton be questioned about it. So 7 times the same staffer signed him in. That staffer hung himself and shot himself in the chest. He hung himself and shot himself in the chest. That's 2. Usually when people take their own lives, they use one method. This guy used 2 methods. I don't even know how does that happen? How do you even do it? Any concerns that this was in relation to his knowledge? How do you do it? I don't even know. I don't know how you do it. I'm befuddled, I'm amazed, I'm bewildered. I don't even know. I don't even know how one does it. It's a long questioning, but now that I've built it all up with all the stupidity, you should at least see his stupid face while they're sitting there asking him how this all came to be. So here he is being questioned about that staffer's suicide.
Are you aware that Mr. Middleton committed suicide?
Yes, I am.
In 2022. He was found dead at Hefner Ranch, approximately 30 miles from his home in Little Rock. He was discovered hanging from a tree by an extension cord around his neck with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest. So he was shot and hung. Do you
both?
Do you have any information that leads you to suspect that he did something other than commit suicide?
The person questioning is starting like, what the fuck? The words you're looking for are what the fuck? What the fuck, Bill? What the fuck? How did he commit suicide twice? How did he take it? How did he do 2 suicidally things? Isn't suiciding people good once? You're doubling down. If you think I'm an asshole, I mean, Christella, and he wanted to be thorough. I guess so. I guess you want to make sure it took. I guess so. I mean, if we're going to go down this twisted path, Christella, by the way, nominated. Thank you for the comment. if we're going to go down this twisted path, I understand taking pills and then doing something. I get that part of it. You know what I mean? How do you, does it all? I don't know. I don't even know. But look at his face. Look at his stone cold face as he sits there during this questioning. By the way, look at his lawyer's face. Look at her face. She's just like, she's just trying to, she knows her spidey lawyer senses, if she's like, I got to save this son of a bitch. I got to jump in and I got to say something to stop him from answering anything about this. This is bad. She knows this is bad. Those lawyer spidey senses are tingling up like crazy. But look at that look on his face. You're telling me that's not a guy who's done some messed up stuff in his life? Come on, man. It's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable.
No.
Okay.
Do you have any concerns that this was in relation to his knowledge or relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, given the date?
But the president has
Of the
already
suicide?
testified to the fact that he was unaware that Mr. Epstein was visiting the White House. So are you asking him then as to what he would have known?
I'm asking, when you heard about the death, knowing about the things that have been, at this point, it's all over the news, seeing that he has committed suicide. Have you ever had any conversations with people about whether or not that there's any relationship between the two?
Oh, no. No one's ever suggested it to me.
Okay. Thank you. I yield back.
Next up,
It's
Mr.
really sad.
It is.
McGuire from Virginia.
I should say it's sad because this looks horrible. It's really sad. I just want to say that. It's really sad. Yeah, no shit. No shit. A lot of death in your corner of the world, isn't there? It's amazing. You and Hillary, especially you seem to be surviving heart attacks like crazy, but other people, not so lucky. Not so lucky. So the person who signed Epstein into the White House 7 times during your administration takes his own life, not in one, but 2 separate ways at the same time, magically. And nobody has ever asked you about, nobody has ever said, I mean, I guess they're just terrified. That should be the question. Are you aware, Mr. President, of how scared everybody is that people keep dying all around you? That should be the question. That should have been the question. I'll tell you something else too about this lawyer over here. She's look at that. She is just ready. She came ready to earn that check that day. She was just like, I am going to earn my pay today. I'm not going to let these guys get anything in on Big Bill. J Sabs with how Hillary stayed with him is really beyond me. It really, the fact that they still call their arrangement a marriage is beyond me. It's really beyond me, because Hillary had to answer all the questions about the massages, about Monica Lewinsky. We did the Monica Lewinsky thing. Go back to our last video. We did it. We already covered that. They trapped her right into that questioning, about the masseuses and interns and all that kind of stuff and young people. And Hillary sat there and took it. It was chilling stuff to see, man. It was chilling stuff. I would have not lasted. I would have not survived that. You think Cuddles is going to sit there and answer questions about my infidelities?
You'd be dead.
I hope you guys all heard that. I don't know if you could hear that, but I hope you heard that. I wouldn't have even made it to the deposition. Yeah, that's unbelievable to me that they still refer to each other as husband and wife. That is like a. And I'll tell you what's the House of Cards? You ever watch House of Cards? House of Cards on Netflix sort of captured that we are here for the politics relationship. Is there real love there between the two of them? I mean, maybe, but there's love of power. I don't know if there's love for each other, but they share a love of power. They both wanted it. She was there just so she could be president of the United States. And Donald Trump stopped her. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. A game show host at the time, totally stopped her in her tracks. There was a clip. I don't know if we wound up playing it. I think I might have bailed out of it. But what's amazing to me is they were questioning Bill Clinton about Donald Trump. And they asked him whether or not he should have to answer questions. And he said yes. But in his answer, he said, the way they asked it was like a yes or no. They were like, yes or no, should Donald Trump answer? And he was like, yes. And then Bill Clinton felt the need to interject further. And if any of you have ever been through a deposition, you know your lawyers tell you, do not offer anything that you're not directly asked about. Don't just offer information. And Bill knew that. And he referenced it before he said, I hate to leave it that way because I don't think that Donald Trump did anything wrong. It's amazing to me, through everything that they have gone through all the terrible things that Donald Trump has said about Bill Clinton and Bill Clinton about Donald Trump and Hillary about and vice versa, all the way around. They fought through an election together. They've had to go through the right versus left battles together. All of that. Both Donald Trump and Bill Clinton are still sticking up for each other throughout all of this. Does anybody else find that disturbing? That through all of the allegations, lies, deceit, illegal activity, immoral activity, through all of it, these two went through the worst battles, and both of these men feel the need to point out that the other one is innocent and did nothing wrong. Is that not strange to anybody else? It's a big club, and you're not in it. And I have never felt that way more than when I watch these two. I mean, Donald Trump has said the shittiest things, the most awful things about Hillary Clinton. And he found time in the Oval Office to be like, it's a shame that Bill Clinton has to go through this. Bill Clinton in the middle of a deposition. My lawyer, they're not going to be happy that I'm in. But I want to add, when you ask a question like that, it makes it sound like I think I'm asserting that Donald Trump did anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. He said it. They're sticking up for each other through all mortal enemies, sticking up for each other through the Epstein thing. It's a big club, and we're not in it. Sad. Sad, really sad. Over to the Iran war. I'll tell you what I love about the Iran war. Every day you ask the administration how we got into this, and every day we get a different answer. It's refreshing. It's like a Lifesavers pack, you know? It's not just cherry. You're going to get lime, you're going to get some orange, and you're going to get purple. By the way, what is purple anyway? Is that plum? What is that? I don't even know what that is. But it's unbelievable to me. I thought we had the answer when Marco Rubio spoke. I don't know if you guys saw that clip, but Marco Rubio was giving an interview and he was like, we had to attack because we knew, basically he said Iran was going to be attacked and we knew Iran was going to retaliate against us. So we had to go in with them and be preemptive, which is essentially saying, we only did this because Israel made us. Now, it's not maybe that popular to say that because there's a lot of backlash against Israel these days. There's also a lot of anti-Semitism out there. So I want to be very careful about how everybody interprets my words. I don't really, not that I don't really, I flat out disagree with a lot of the anti-Semitism that's out there in the world right now. But that being said, I don't agree with everything that Benjamin Netanyahu does. And I don't know what Marco Rubio is thinking, but that's not a good look to say, well, we didn't really want to do this, but Israel was going to do it, so we went along with it. You know, my friends were all doing it, Dad. So, I mean, you know, he got he walked right into the Brooklyn Bridge speech, you know? So I don't know what Marco Rubio was thinking there, but I thought, well, that makes sense. That must be the real reason why, because the day before that, we were told there was a imminent threat. And then the Pentagon, stupid Pentagon, they came out and said, no, there was no imminent threat. So that shot that to hell. Then Marco Rubio said what he said. And then the next day, Marco Rubio said, I didn't say that. Because again, rules don't matter. Nothing really matters. Truth, fact, rules, realities. It's one thing I'm learning. I think we're all living in just different realities. You know, I watched North Korea threw themselves one of those military parades they love to do so much with the fireworks and the marching and everything. Very obsessed with marching. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like a good march, but I can't sit there for hours on end just watching people march. You know, I don't understand the appeal to it. But I looked at those North Koreans and I just thought, boy, they're just living in their own reality. They're pleased as punch. They're so happy with their military. Maybe they are. Maybe they're pretending for the leader there. They don't want to get shot. I get whatever. But they're just living in their own reality. And then I was thinking about it more today. And I was like, actually, we're all just living in our own reality, aren't we? Because if you're on the left and you're just getting fed left stuff on social media, you're in that world and you don't understand that there's another side of it. And the same with my right friends and the conservatives. They just getting fed all conservative stuff and they think that the other side is crazy. And it's like nobody's going in between there's no singular reality anymore. Everybody's just living in their own, you know? I mean, and I understand not wanting to live in a singular reality because in that reality, the Clintons defend the Trumps and vice versa. Because nobody wants to go down for the Epstein stuff. But every day it's a different story on how we got into this war. And then so they bring Congress in and, you know, because they got to explain to Congress. And there were several people, well, in the Senate, I should say. There were several people in the Senate that was just like, we go into these briefings expecting to hear something horrific that we didn't know already, and there was nothing there. Now, they could be playing along party lines, and perhaps they are. But the Senate voted today to block President Trump's ability to continue these operations, and they did. Well, they didn't vote they voted to allow the president to continue. The vote to block President Trump's ability to continue military operations failed 53-47 in the Senate, and it went straight down party lines. So I don't know what we're talking about here. Obviously, Congress must approve a war, but any military operations can just be done by the president. You know, I mean, that's just been a thing. The House is going to vote on a similar resolution next. So the House is going to come up and they're going to have their vote. We've lost 6 service members since this conflict began. And although I will say Iran has really slowed down on their retaliation. They were out of the gate throwing things around like crazy. And now they've since slowed down pretty considerably, which is interesting. I also have to read this story. Laser weapons deployed in Operation Epic Fury as Space Force stops Iran's missiles in their tracks. This is a legit story. Yeah. Here you go. Iranian weapon debris blown to pieces or mechanically crippled keeps dropping from the Middle East sky. For that, we can thank heat-seeking satellites, military-grade malware, and radar jamming software, all made in America. New technology laser weaponry has also been deployed against Iran as part of Operation Epic Fury. A U.S. Navy destroyer vessel off the coast of the Middle East nation is fitted with the new weapon, which appears to be a high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance systems. Videos released by the U.S. Central Command show. The laser is a state-of-the-art device with a steerable head able to concentrate an intense, tightly focused beam of energy and take out drones, according to keen-eyed military watchers. Similar videos of the skies over Israel and Lebanon border show rockets being launched only to explode seconds later. That has been widely but unofficially credited to Israel military's new Iron Beam weapon, an advanced laser able to disable rockets and defend territory. Neither the U.S. Navy nor the Israel military have confirmed or denied the use of lasers in Epic Fury. However, the Navy said that in the beginning of February, it had taken out 4 drones in a test of Helios. Helios is like is that the laser, high-powered laser thing that they have? Yeah. It has an integrated optical dazzler. I'll tell you what, we don't have integrated optical dazzlers on this show. I wish we did, though. I'd look a lot better. Maybe we should get some of those integrated optical dazzlers. Is that the standard integrated optical dazzler, or is that the integrated optical dazzler 2000? Because I hear the newest model is killer. It's really, literally killer. It's literally good. Yeah, Neil, there is a secret weapon every day with this. Basically. The cock dome is good. Gonna nominate that. Could definitely nominate that. Yeah, people are. Yeah, it's nuts. Child trafficking rings, A-okay. That's all right. You want to hold on to your own oil? We can't have that. No, we can't. That can't happen. That cannot happen. That is bad. That is bad. Epstein good. Iran bad. Just in case anybody's losing track and not following at home. I gotta see. Let me see if I could bring up this video for everybody. I don't know if we can use this. Oh yeah, I guess we can. I don't know if you. Oh, this was the video. Yeah, I meant to. Oh, it's in the montage of videos. All right, let me bring this up for everybody. Let's see if we could pick out the moment the integrated molecular dazzler. What was it? I forgot it or lost it already. Let's see if we could find that moment that the dazzler shoots it down. You've probably seen this video. I watched it. It shows one of the rockets being launched off the deck of one of our ships. It stood out to me because I remember thinking to myself, that rocket looks drunk. The rocket comes out of the ship like it was intoxicated. Like you would expect a rocket to just go like this. The rocket literally had one too many and kind of just floats away. Yeah, let's take a watch. Let's get this together. Sorry, computer system's a little slow here. You can tell that's not an integrated dazzler. We've got the spinning wheel of death. That is not an integrated dazzler right now happening. And it's now. You don't run into these problems when you're dealing with integrated optical dazzlers. Yeah, no, not at all. All right, this is bad. We got to refresh. Let me get a refresh in here. Let's see if we could refresh the page. God bless X. Always good. Let's see. See if we can get it working now. All right, did you see how crooked that thing was? Did you see how crooked that came out? Let's watch that again. Look at that. That kid, everybody was coming out of a bar at 3 a.m. Okay, it's got some planes blowing up. It's nice little targets. Yeah, I don't know if these are beams or actual bombs. I'm not quite sure. Doesn't really. I don't know what military experts are saying that some of these things are beams. I don't really know, but this doesn't really match the text that we were just saying. All right, so there you go. I knew I didn't play. I thought I didn't cue this up for a reason, and now I just remembered why, because it's completely useless. But anyway, they got sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads now. That's the new weapon, so be careful. Fucking Dr. Evil is taking command of the Iran war. Anyone? Oh, this is good, Christella. Instead of Hegseth, Keg's breath. I like that a lot. Is that it? Did you come up with that, or is that what the kids are saying online? Anyone see Keg's breath's speech earlier? What a tool. That guy. Gracious, not exactly in his vocabulary. Again, usually people, when it comes to war, are a little like diplomatic, just a little diplomatic. Oh, thanks for confirming, Christelle. Appreciate it. But he called out England. He's like, we're not, they basically, honestly, it's a new era in America. And I'm a little surprised. Not that I'm surprised, but I'm not that comfortable with it. It's not the America I like to be. I like to be a little, listen, did I want America to be a little tougher? Yeah. Yep. I think tougher's good. Tougher's safer. A drunken asshole, that's different. There's a difference between tougher and your uncle who drinks too much and starts a fight everywhere he goes. You know what I'm saying? And we're just edging just too close to the latter for me, for my comfort. Maybe everybody feels different. Maybe you want to just write, I have Trump derangement syndrome, call me a liberal pussy. That's fine. That's why we have comment sections. But for him to just be like, screw our allies for not coming along for the ride. It's like, bro, you've yet to prove to your own legislative branch that this is justified. We still know what the fuck you're doing. Nobody does. Nobody does. And so far, the only little speck of truth we had was when Rubio slipped up and said, well, Israel was going to bomb them. So they were going to retaliate against us. We had we had no choice. Again, not a great even if it was the real reason. Not a great reason to tell everybody publicly. And you tell Israel, hey, you got to wait until there's a better reason. But I think Israel has just gotten to the point now where they're like, Israel doesn't fucking care. Israel, I think Israel saw, again, I always put that moment of Bill Clinton and Osama bin Laden. He could have broken the law a little bit, international law. And that's basically what Hegseth said, right? I mean, Christelle, that's kind of what you're getting at with Hegseth's speech. He was like, we're not going by international law. We're not doing any of this stuff, which I understand, but just be nice about it, because that kind of shit tends to come around and bite you in the ass on the way back. I tell the story all the time, but Bill Clinton had a chance to take out Osama bin Laden, didn't do so because Osama was at a religious event. He was at a wedding. So he didn't do it. And then if you fast forward a couple of years and he masterminds the greatest terrorist attack on U.S. soil, so it's like, would any of us trade any of that? Would any of us have preferred that Bill Clinton broke the law? Hell yeah. I don't know one American that wouldn't have made that trade. I don't know one American that wouldn't have said in that moment, hey, fuck the rules of engagement. You got to either you got a shot at a bad guy, fucking take it. So I understand where Israel is coming from. I understand the mentality of this may not be traditionally what we do, but we got to do it now to avoid future loss. Who knows? This, as tragic as this has been so far with that poor school that got taken out and the 6 service members that we've lost already, this might have been a move that saved a lot of lives. We'll never know. We'll just never know. But be fucking nice about it. When you get up on a podium and the American flag is behind you, can you act a little fucking humble for a second? It's not a keg party at the frat, bro. There's a reason why we hold ourselves a particular way with class and dignity. Because you don't want to be, even though we've been the shitty nation at times, even though we've done some pretty fucked up things in our history and across the globe, we've got a little grace. We've got a little panache. We've got a way about maybe making it up to people afterwards. We don't walk around being dicks about it. And Pete Hegseth doesn't understand that. And I wish he would. I saw the clip. And again, the people in Iran, I don't know, from fucking Adam. I don't give a shit about the people who live 4 blocks away from me. I'm going to care about people who live on the other side of the world. But I saw the clip of the parents digging out the rubble of the school of little kids that got blown up. I don't know how you can grab a microphone and be like, we're not respecting international law, bro. I don't know how you could do that in those people's faces. Again, I don't know them from Adam. You know? And I'm a New Yorker. I walk past people. I've walked past homeless people in need my entire life. I don't give it. Nobody gets it. We're all kind of assholes. But if you can't sympathize, even to the people who chant death to America, crying over their children's school being blown up, there's something wrong with you. You know, there's something wrong with you, and you should be in a place that could get you help, not in charge of a major arm of our government. You know, Lindy's right. We don't have it with these guys. They don't get it. And I'm wondering if the current president is feeling it now because of all the shit he talked about Obama with Iran. The fact that he pulled out of the deal with Iran, you know, the fact that it appears that Benjamin Netanyahu has played him like a fucking fiddle. The fact that he campaigned on the fact that he doesn't do regime change in war, the fact that he proclaimed that the military is not here for regime change any longer. Do you think he's feeling like, oh, I really fucked this one up? I don't know if he is or not. And the weird thing is, the beautiful thing is they go, this isn't about regime change because we're not going to suggest who the new regime should be. Oh, okay. So you're telling me that the final leg of the regime change journey was the problem? If you do all the regime change stuff except for the last 10% of putting in a new regime, if you just leave them to figure it out for themselves, then it's okay. We are all living in our own realities these days. We are all living in our own realities. I'm okay with right criticizing left and left criticizing right, but there is so much hypocrisy going on today. It is hard to hear any argument from any side. It really is. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Neil says he gets played by everyone. Not everyone. That Mom Donnie's got his number, though. That guy's a genius. Mom Donnie is a genius. I can see the comments now. How could you call this socialist a genius? Played your boy like the fiddle. Brought in that little newspaper cover. Got his building project approved. Having trouble making the budget work in New York City. I know. I'll travel up to DC. Blow some smoke right up that orange ass and get exactly what we need. Mom Donnie's the smartest motherfucker in here. Let's get to the honestly the most important story of the day. The Jersey Shorecast. It has been revealed that Jersey Shore canceled from MTV. No mas on the Jersey Shore. Their farewell season will premiere on May 7th and run for 18 episodes. Jersey Shore Family Vacation is the latest iteration of the Jersey Shore cast. It's a revival series which launched in 2018. The original Jersey Shore ran from 2009 to 2012. Isn't that amazing? The original Jersey Shore was only 3 years. Did it feel like more than that? That's one of those unbelievable cultural phenomenons that happened, and nobody can explain why. I mean, outside of the fact that Snooki got punched in the face by a dude, like that was the big that was the big moment in that show. I think that was like episode 3 or 4. Like the first couple of episodes were like whatever, and then when Snooki got punched in the face, and they put the screen to black so you couldn't see it. Everybody was talking about that back then. It was huge. Absolutely huge. And what's amazing too is they ran real world programming until they ran it into the ground and couldn't do it anymore. Then they just stopped doing it. And then they were like, what if we kind of did it with just scumbag New Yorkers? just gorilla juice heads, to pull a phrase from the Jersey Shore vernacular. Meatheads or whatever they call themselves, and it took off. It was massive. I don't know about you. I don't know what this says about me, guilty pleasure or what, but Cuddles and I watched the shit out of all those original Jersey Shores. I never missed an episode. Well, the weird part for me, though, was like I literally, having family in that area, I would spend my summers there. So I kind of grew up, in some of the places that they went to were the places that we frequented, So it was this kind of bizarre thing for me to like see my little corner of the world become this popular thing. But those characters, we had characters down on the Jersey Shore when I was growing up, but not like that. Those guys, that was just the right chemistry, the complete package to become something massive, So original Jersey Shore went from 2009 to 2012. Jersey Shore Family Vacation came back in 2018. Their final season starts May 7th. It'll run for 18 episodes, but MTV says that this is it for them. However, TMZ was able to get their hands on a promo video of the Jersey Shore cast saying, this might be the last season on MTV, but this isn't the last you're going to hear of the Jersey Shore crew. So now what that means, nobody really knows. One would think one of two things. They're going to another channel. If that's the case, I'm looking at you, Bravo. I think Andy Cohen would jump on this in a second, put this thing on Bravo. Or the second thing is the way the new Paramount is running and them buying Warner Brothers and whatever, they're going to wind up on Paramount Plus or whatever streaming service, because I don't think that they're going to give up that property. Because even though it went from drinking and partying to PTA meetings and rehab visits and shit like that, I think people are still pretty interested in that cast. I got to admit, I am still interested. Now, I will also admit I have not watched the show. I've lost interest as far as that goes, but if a clip comes up on my social feed, I will watch it to see what's going on with the crew. I will definitely watch it. And especially now that Snooki's got cancer, we got a cancer battle to root on. Fuck yeah. That is going to, they are not, that's going to some streaming service or another channel. They're not giving that up. Those are sweet ratings. We all want to see Snooki get that chemo and beat that cancer. You know what I'm saying? We got to see that shit. Also, I think the other meatball's running for PTA president. I got to know if she wins. Not that I'm going to tune in, but I'm going to Google it. I'm going to read some clips because I can't sit through a half-hour show anymore. Not when I could look at something for 30 seconds and get the basic gist of it. I'll take that any day of the week. I'll just take that any day of the week. But yeah, GTL and everything else, who knows where it's going to wind up, but it's going to be somewhere. I mean, TMZ had the scoop. I was a little skeptical if TMZ's picking it up. What if TMZ just put it on their streaming platform or on their website to just watch the episodes whenever you want? I mean, it doesn't even matter anymore if it's not on a streaming platform or like, honestly, there's podcasts on Netflix now. What's the difference between Netflix, YouTube, and TMZ.com? I just don't know if there is one anymore. Nobody really settles in for a night of television or traditional television anymore as much. We wouldn't be able to do this if people were really still doing that, Lindy says, "Go God, let a dead dog lie." Do people really like this content anymore? Again, as somebody who was a fan back in the day, I'm not going to watch a half hour of it, but I'll watch a 30-second clip online to find out what's going on. I definitely will. Sookie has cancer. Isn't Sookie from True Blood? Yeah, Sookie's from True Blood. Snooki's got cancer from the Jersey Shore. Those are two, although I'd like to see those two get on a show, see what happens. Who wins the vampire's love, Sookie or Snooki? That would be, maybe it's a little dating thing. We bring in Guy Fieri to judge it all because maybe one round is cooking. I don't know. I think one round is shopping, cooking, and then there's a bathing suit competition. And then there's, who can get bailed out of jail on the Jersey Shore faster. Just a little just a bunch of different rounds to determine the love of whatever vampire we're going for, you know? Boy, I haven't watched True Blood in a while. That's one that we've never really rewatched. True Blood. We watched that a lot back in the day. That was in the vampire day. Everybody's over the vampire day. All right, I'll tell you what's weird. Cuddles and I, this is embarrassing, but I'll tell you. It wasn't our first date. It was kind of, it was one of the first dates in the first weekend.
Yeah.
I took her to go see True Blood, the movie. What was that called? Twilight. Thank you. I took her to go see Twilight. Subsequently, she ate all the popcorn and didn't share any with me. I should have known then. That's our famous story. We're scrolling through the streaming services this weekend, and my daughter's like, can we watch Twilight? And we were like, no, I don't think we can. I don't know if we can. It was really strange to think our first date movie would be a movie that our daughter would want to watch with us, you know? And I don't want her to watch it because A, there's a lot of like sexual content in it. And B, I'm afraid what she's going to think about our relationship if she... Yeah, she does. She judges us already. Now she's going to be like, Jesus Christ. Like, she's going to be like, it's a miracle we've lived this long. You guys fucking hooked up over Twilight, the movie. Oh my God. We used to make inside jokes to people. Do you remember? We used to make jokes on MySpace. We used to leave MySpace comments on each other's about the sparkling. Yeah. What a dumb a vampire movie where the vampires are out in the sun, yet it's Seattle. So we're supposed to buy that it's overcast enough all the time that they won't. That was the stupidest fucking thing. How did we all fall for that? You think now is rough times. Back then we thought vampires could live in Seattle. Like that was a really confused time in society. The whole thing was really weird. You know? Well, anyway. That's the Jersey Shore thing. So we can start taking bets on where they. I'd love to see them on Bravo because I just want to get them on Andy Cohen, you know, and they're all dressed up at the end. I like when Andy Cohen does the show. That's another thing. Real Housewives. I can't watch that shit. But if a 40-second clip comes up, I'm not flipping past it. I'm gonna find out what's going on. I don't really love the Housewives show anymore. I just like when Andy sits there with his little cards and he's got 3 or 4 women on this side and 3 or 4 women on that side. And he's like, she's such a bitch, isn't she? And, you know, he just asks shit starting questions and watches the two sides just fight and scream and argue with each other. I can't get enough of it. To me, it's just a different kind of WWE, you know, it's just a little slightly different WWE there. Anyway. I never finished True Blood. Paul never finished. We did, I think.
I did.
You know what, though? We never finished Orange is the New Black. There's a few shows we fell out. Severance is the other show I kind of we fell out of. It was good, but it's just like after a little while, you know. Yuck, you're like a little girl, Aunt. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We pretty much knew that when Harry Met Sally was like my favorite movie. Oh, let me throw this nugget out there to you guys. I'm gonna cry, but I'm excited about it. Billy Crystal and what's her name from Harry Met Sally? Meg Ryan. Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan are going to unite at the Oscars to pay tribute to Rob Reiner. I know that's going to be good. I fucking love Billy Crystal. He's what I don't think I watched a Billy Crystal movie that I was like, meh, every one of them. From when Harry Met Sally to Forget Paris to, I mean, that show he did with Josh Gad that nobody fucking watched. I like that show too. I love everything that Billy Crystal does. 700 Sundays. He's one of my favorites. Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan are going to unite at the Oscars to honor Rob Reiner. Sources tell, who are we talking about? Variety. Sources tell Variety that the details now include Crystal talking about the late filmmaker and actor during the in memoriam segment. Ryan will be on the stage at the same time, along with other stars of Reiner's films. I feel like they just give him 15 minutes, let him act out some shit. Let them do the I'll have what she's having scene live. That's what we want. That's a fucking tribute to Rob Reiner. There's not going to be a dry eye in the house for that one. And Conan's hosting. And you know that the famous blow up happened at Conan's house. So that one's gonna be a real tearjerker. A real tearjerker. I don't know, who do we get? Because I think, was that Rob Reiner's mom who did the I'll have what she's having? I think that was Rob Reiner's mom. I know she's not with us anymore. So we got to get somebody to play that part. I don't know who we can get to play that part. Maybe Meryl Streep. I'm going to put Meryl Streep in that role. All right, kiddies. That's it for me. A lot of fun hanging out with you guys on this Wednesday. Appreciate it as always. Apologies that Frankie C couldn't make it. He will be here on Friday. And I think Aaron C as well, the writer of Oval, will play a game. And we're having Frankie and Aaron over for a social gathering on Saturday, which rarely ever happens. So that'll be exciting. So Friday's show will be good. Well, maybe we'll menu plan together, because we still don't have a menu for our little gathering. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Facebook. Follow us there. Become a member. You could do so for as low as $2.99 a month. You can't even get a friggin' coffee at a 7-Eleven for $2.99 a month anymore. It's insane. But you can become a member and support the podcast. Link in the description below. You can join for higher amounts. That's always appreciated. It helps us defray the costs of putting on the show for you guys 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And by 8:30, we mean anywhere from 8:30 to 9:15. Of course, the show continues when we're off the air on our Discord, which is completely free for everybody. Join with the link in the description.
Show me potato salad.
Let's go, Islanders. We'll see you Friday.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.
Come be the man I need.